Welcome back. Now, the Lankan Navy had arrested 23 Tamil Nadu fishermen a few days back for trespassing into its waters. And Tamil Nadu government says it received communication from the centre that Sri Lanka would release 23 fishermen in 2 days' time. Earlier, Chief Minister Jayalalitha wrote to the Prime Minister and spoke to the NSA regarding the same issue. And well, the Madras High Court today ordered a notice to the Union Personnel Ministry and the CBI in a public interest litigation which sought to quash a central notification dated 9th of June this year, giving total exemption to the CBI from coming under the purview of the RTI Act of 2005. Vijay Lakshmi, the petitioner, challenged the central notification, saying that the central agency was covered under the RTI Act for the last 6 years, with few exceptions, so as to not disturb the investigation process. The petitioner said that this total exemption will deprive the public of the right to collect information regarding cases of corruption and human rights violations which are currently being dealt by the CBI. And the first bench heard the petition and ordered the CBI to reply within 3 weeks on why it should be exempted from the purview of the RTI Act. Well, the 6 Indian sailors who were on board the MV Suez finally landed in Delhi and they are back home now. The 10-month ordeal for them and their families has finally come to an end. The Egyptian vessel with the 22 men on board was hijacked by Somali pirates in August last year. The pirates finally released the crew of MV Suez after a huge ransom of $2.1 million was paid. Now, the families in India were overjoyed after hanging between the fear of the worst and the hope. The crew members says that they owe a massive debt to Pakistani human rights activist Ansar Barni, who helped in negotiations with the pirates, as well as raising a part of the huge ransom money. Well, also among the 6 sailors is Biju from Kanyakumari. He arrived here today. Now, his parents have said that India should make sure that such an incident like this must not happen again. Now, we caught up with Biju and other sailors who were more than relieved to have made it back to home soil.
They take to Pakistan, and yesterday they give us ticket and everything. They sent to here. They are good now, feeling well. About Pakistan, they are do good for us, for Indian people also, for Egyptian and one Sri Lankan also. They made good for.
Was there a fear? Were you scared at any point in the last 10 months? There must have been many moments when you felt scared that maybe you will never come back home.
Yes.
Well, as a follow-up to our extensive electoral coverage, we at NETV Hindu have been bringing to you reports on your area's newly elected members in our new series, MLA Monitor. Now, today we feature an elected member of one of the most prestigious constituencies in the city, that's T Nagar. Now, VP Kalai Rajan, the sitting MLA of the AIADMK, has made a comeback for a second stint this assembly elections. Lokpriya brings to us this report. T Nagar, one of Chennai's key constituencies, a shopper's paradise, is also burdened with a host of civic issues. And that's precisely why it remains a top priority for its MLA, VP Kalai Rajan. This AIADMK veteran has his task cut out for his constituency. 49-year-old Kalai Rajan has defeated the formidable Chella Kumar of the Indian National Congress by over 30,000 votes.
First top priority education and traffic. Land order.
Even as we are speaking to Kalai Rajan, there are at least half a dozen calls in a span of 15 minutes from the residents of his constituency with their grievances. Familiarity with people and easy accessibility have made people turn to him. Next on his agenda is to conduct an open house along with officials so that the residents can bring their problems to the concerned authorities directly. VP Kalai Rajan, constituency T Nagar. Immediate concerns: to ease traffic congestion, maintain law and order, and to improve educational facilities. With ambitious plans up his sleeve, Kalai Rajan says he wants to go all out and give his constituency an edge over the others. How far he succeeds remains to be seen. In Chennai, with Lokpriya, this is Ashmit Kumar for NDTV Hindu. Well, the crisis in Air India continues, with the pilots now threatening that any accidents mid-air will not be their fault but instead of the management. Now, they have had the trouble concentrating, they say. The cause of the stress is the fact that pilots have not been paid by the airline for more than 2 months now. More trouble appears to be brewing for the Maharaja. Let's take a look.
pay us our salaries or we won't be responsible for errors caused by mental distress. The latest salvo from pilots to the Air India management that has not paid salaries for 2 months. They've written to the airlines regulator, the DGCA, and the company management saying, any human being put under such extreme stress is liable to perform poorly. In case of any unfortunate accident, the entire blame will be on the current CMD and top management. They say the biggest cause of stress, their defaults on loans. It's not just the pilots though. All 30,000 employees are waiting for their paychecks since May. The airline has assured that salaries will come in next week, but its reaction has been extreme. It's grounded one of the pilots of one of the unions for writing the letter on behalf of others. It even blames the pilots for the company's increasing revenue losses. In this letter to employees last week, the Air India CMD writes, the recent strike and consequent huge losses to the tune of 250 crores has forced the company into a hand-to-mouth existence. The strike has definitely played its part in adding to losses, but it's a drop in the ocean compared to the 40,000 crore debt Air India has accumulated with continuing financial and managerial mismanagement. In Mumbai, Meloni Bhatt for NDTV.
Well, step up. That's what this hip-hop dance crew in the city is all about. We'll tell you more about them on the other side.